Let's take a moment to tap into our current experiences and close your eyes. What is the most important thing in your life? Suppose there was a global pandemic in an hour. Who would you go to? And who would you want to be with? If that's too hard to think about the world now, what the world was a month ago, a year ago, living a normal life, going to school, working, eating dinner with families, hanging out with friends, going on vacations, all the things that we took for granted. I personally think coronavirus might have been a lesson for all and each one of us of knowing the invaluable part of what we call an ordinary life. So many people have lost their families, friends, regular lifestyle, happiness, struggling from mental illnesses, depressions, lockdown, quarantine, and now, how much of a change has this pandemic brought to you and to our world? Like this, we don't really realize how much of a gifted life we're living in with the gifted people around us. So now open your eyes and think again. When the world as we know comes to an end, who would you want to spend that time with? I believe a lot of them will answer your loved ones, the people you care for the most. But what I really want to ask is, if these people are this important to you, how much love are you showing them? What actions are you taking to show them? Sometimes people say that when we get too used to having someone next to us, such as our families, we start taking them for granted until we realize how important they are in our lives, how we should have them better, treat them better when they're finally not with us in this world. Hi, my name is Ryan, and today I'll be talking about the importance of setting boundaries to pursue the love within your loved ones. And for that reason, I'm here to share one of my experiences of letting go an important part of my life and the boundaries that I set for my family. Back when I was in Korea, which is about 4 years ago, I was in a professional soccer team. I was scouted by one of the top 3 middle school soccer teams in Korea. And of course, when I heard about this, I was unimaginably shocked and happy, because soccer was literally my everything. I've invested my whole childhood in playing soccer to really reach that one more step in becoming an actual one. The school was a boarding school, and it was about an hour and a half away. So every weekend I would take an hour and a half metro to see my family. But do you know what the worst part was? That I barely had the time to see them. On Friday, our class ended at 7 in the night, and I was so tired that I had to limp to the station. Have you ever had that feeling where your legs just can't stay still and just constantly vibrate from muscle overloading? Like you're not walking normally, but within your abnormal walk, you're trying to find a flow to move to a certain direction. Like a conscious drunk walk. But by the time when I was home, it was around 9 p.m. and my family would be waiting for me to eat dinner. Stepping inside the house, I would hear my mom's voice. Gwanmin, 언니? Ryan, are you here? With the Joyce and Blizz. The screamings and smiles, greetings from my brother and sisters, all the effort and exhaustion from soccer vanishes and feels like pure happiness. But my time with my family was fleeting as watching a sentimental loving movie. In the beginning, every tiny part of my heart would be filled with love, romance as I hugged my mom, laughing with my sibling, joking with my dad, had an inspiration, like the end of the movie, how they end up breaking up, tearing your heart into thousands of pieces. My eyes soaking every bit for it to be Monday. But here was it again, waking up 6 in the morning, getting ready for another week of training. My mom would always drive me to the station, and seeing my mom car disappear as I drove away from the station, it made me wish I had more time with them. Sometimes I missed out my dad's birthday, my little sister's kindergarten graduations, all the small events that I could have attended, if not for soccer. In the beginning year of boarding school, I was very passionate about soccer. I really envisioned myself becoming one of the famous soccer players like Son. Yet, after a year of attending, my performance was not that outstanding compared to other players. I was a middle fielder, a center mid, who plays a crucial role in transitioning the ball. From left to right, right to left, giving through passes, the core of the team. There were 3 other players fighting for my starter position. And soccer is such a competitive sport because Whenever you made a minor mistake, your coach would just sub you out, which made me devalue myself and think you weren't worth it. Because I was one of the hardworking players who really practiced during midnight when no one was, who spared time of the weekend for that extra training to really earn that spot. But whenever I got subbed, it made me think if I should give up. The three other players were my best friends, my close friends. But whenever we stepped inside the field, we were like three major predators in the jungle fighting for the top of the food chain. Like lasers were coming out of their eyes, craving to crush them down. It's such a competitive sport, and it's all about mentality. I had to stay strong. But my thick skin didn't last long, and also after a year, I saw myself emotionally drained down from the pressure and competition to really maintain my status as a starter. So I knew this time, I really had to think for myself, prioritize my health, and make the right decision, the best decision for myself. After a long week of consideration, I decided to give up soccer. And at that time, this was a really big decision for me. I spoke to my parents about it, and I arranged a meeting with my coach. Sitting across my coach, I was definitely nervous. It was definitely hard because he would expect me that I would give up. But I was determined. So with clear voice and confidence, I looked him in the eyes and said, "Hey coach, lately I've been feeling emotionally drained down, and I don't think I can play soccer anymore." He was shocked. His eyes moved from left to right. His face turned red with disappointment. He didn't expect me to say it, but he didn't try to make it seem obvious that he's doing that, but I knew. So after a long 5 minutes of silence, he calmly said back, "Hey Ryan, I'm sorry that I was at the moment with you, but I'm sure you're certain with your decision, so I can't say anything but to let you go. I wish you good luck in the future." It was done. It was done. I said no to soccer, and I placed my boundary. So how was my life after losing everything I've invested? It was great. Fabulous. Of course, it was not easy at first to imagine the different dream part of being a soccer player. But time really healed. I got into the fitness industry. I got into kinesiology. I tried different muscle variation myself. I met new people who might be my best friends forever. And I even got into studying, which I hated. And most importantly, I didn't miss out any family dinners, vacations, all the small events. I was there at the present moment whenever I could. This image presents the validity of smaller steps. The reason why I'm showing you this image is because setting boundaries and showing love doesn't have to be a major sacrifice. It could be something simple, like muting your phone before dinner, or a kiss before sleep, a hug before school. It shouldn't be an obligation. The action should be generally preceded by your own. So here's the steps to setting boundaries. 1, put yourself in the future and imagine if you ever regret the action that you're making right now. 2, if you know that the right decision is to put your phone away or sparing time for family vacation, prioritize family over anything and do it. Don't think to yourself self-compromising, but do it. And lastly, set the boundaries. Push away the things, give up the things that prevents you from happiness, and go to your true values. Set the boundaries and make the actions. Because the biggest pain is not losing your loved ones. It's not getting the chance to show your true feelings. Because from the other person, the only part they see is your actions. They don't see your emotions, thoughts, how much they really mean to you, how much you love them, until it becomes reality. So my message here is choose to be there in the present moment whenever you can. Thank you.